Oh, I need to take better care of my health. Oh, hi. I have a question for you. Have you ever been worried about your health as an artist? Maybe you've had some wrist pain before. Maybe your back is hurting. Or maybe you're more worried about your mental health. Like you feel there's always something preventing you from focusing on your art 100%. You're not alone. I'm Marc. I've been a professional artist for most of my life, and now I teach art for a living. In this week's YouTube Art School episode, I'll go over 10 important physical and mental health tips to ensure you can keep doing the thing you love, art, for a long time, and in the comfort of a healthy body and mind. Oh, quickly, this class is starting. Alright, class is in session. Pay attention! We're gonna sketch right into it today because we have a lot to cover. Right after you've paid the class fee of either one like or one sub. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Good. So let's start with the physical health tips, since, well, those are arguably the most important. As they say, healthy body, healthy mind. In the background here, I'll just be playing a time-lapse of a painting so that you still have something fun to watch if you're not interested in a topic, but you should be interested. All right, here we go. Tip number 1 is, to hold your pen or your brush better. This is the kind of silly stuff that will help prevent carpal tunnel, which can really ruin your career as an artist or just shut down art as a hobby for good or for a long time. Hold your pen right. I see all kinds of ways people have to hold a pen. You want a neutral hand position where all the fingers can softly support the pen without having to flex any muscles too hard. Always maintain a soft grip and adjust your tablet pressure so that you don't have to press super hard on the canvas to get a nice brush stroke. For the second tip, we move up from the hand to the wrist. Always keep your wrist straight when you use a pen. Don't bend it. If you draw with your wrist and elbow on the canvas, it's likely you'll be bending your wrist a lot to draw, over and over again for long periods of time. Avoid that. You can have your wrist gliding on a canvas, but try to keep your elbow off the canvas to engage the entire arm instead of only your wrist. Also, take breaks often. Release your grip, rotate your hands, stretch out the muscles and the tendons of your arm. Holding any position for long periods of time is a great way to get injured. If you keep forgetting, well, just set an alarm that beeps every 5 minutes to remind yourself to relax your wrist and take a short break. It's well worth it. You do not want carpal tunnel, believe me. Next, tip number 3 is about your sitting position. First of all, invest in a good ergonomic chair. You'll be doing yourself a solid. If you're younger, this is probably not something that you'll care about too much just yet, but as you reach your mid-20s, maybe even earlier, your back will often start to become an issue. Anybody who sits for extended periods of time is going to have to deal with back pain. It's just a matter of dealing with a lot or with very little. And if you don't have any issue yet, it's just a matter of time. Choosing the right chair should be as important as the computer that you sit in front of. If you can afford it, get a Herman Miller chair. They're the best out there. Now, when it comes to your posture, the general idea is that you want to avoid any position where your muscles have to do any work. If you slouch over your canvas when you're drawing or painting, some of your back muscles will become tight and inflexible from the strain, while others that are not used will weaken too much. All of this increases your risks of injuries because it means your body won't be well prepared to deal with different day-to-day situations. And this naturally leads us into tip number 4 about avoiding sitting in the same position for too long. Take frequent breaks by standing up for a minute or more every 30 to 60 minutes. Just don't be a robot who holds the same pose for too long. You'll mess yourself up, like guaranteed. The name of the game here is to avoid any prolonged muscle tension. Do it. The 5th and last tip about your physical health is about your eyes. Just like anywhere on your body, muscles are involved in seeing, involved in helping us focus our vision rather. We have tiny muscles that flex to contract or relax the soft lens in our eyeball, allowing us to see clearly, to see in focus. If you don't want all kinds of problems, including a blurry vision over time, look away from your canvas, away from your screen as often as possible to force your muscles to adjust the lens shape by flexing or relaxing. This way, just like with your back, you're not flexing any muscle for extended periods of time. Use the 20-20-20 rule as a guide. Every 20 minutes, look away to an object at least 20 feet away for at least 20 seconds. Take care of your eyeballs. Now, moving on to the mental health portion of today's class. Often, it's not time that prevents us from practicing art. It'll be ourselves, our brain fighting against us. We want to get better, of course, and we know that we should practice, but something gets in the way. Or maybe you feel like you're studying, but you're not retaining much of the information. Are you just stupid? Maybe, but probably how you approach studying is the real issue. For tip number 6, neuroscience tells us, and I'm just repeating this after hearing it from Andrew Huberman, a neuroscientist, the best way to study is in short bursts throughout the day, rather than in long, intense sessions. Apparently, the best is to have short 10 to 15 to 20-minute deliberate study sessions, followed by a short period of rest. This way of studying is proven to have an incredible effect on the amount of information that we're able to retain from our study, which means that we get better faster. Yeah. And something else that might help you get better faster is a good study plan, a good curriculum, and in-depth classes with assignments to test the material that you study. Everything you would find in my complete art education program. We just reached another crazy milestone. The program is now over 12,000 students strong, which is epic. So to celebrate, make sure that you use the special YouTube-only coupon in the video description to save big on the total price of the program until the end of this month only. If you're already a student, thank you. You're the best, and I hope you've been making mad progress. Now on to tip number 7. Get out, bro. Go outside. Don't stay inside all the time. Just like with the last tip, the quality of your studies increases dramatically if you're able to defocus when you're not studying and trying to get better. There's no better way to defocus than by looking at the vast horizon. It's science. If you can't see far enough from your office window or bedroom window, go somewhere where you can. It's always been proven to help reduce stress, so there's that too. It might be counterintuitive, but the better you can defocus, the faster you learn while you focus. Tip number 8 then is related in a way. It's to avoid dedicating everything to art. You need to disconnect, see friends, and have other hobbies. Focusing everything in your life around art, even if you love it, it's not healthy. You always need to find balance elsewhere. It's easy to get lost in your thoughts, your worries, and accumulate stress if you're in a bubble. This doesn't only apply to art, obviously, but don't dedicate everything to anything. And then tip number 9, and we're almost done, is to interact with the right people as much as possible. A lot of artists are introverts, and I'm kind of an introvert myself, so it might not come naturally, but it's necessary. You want supportive people in your life, and other artists are usually great at that because, well, they share a lot in common. Most of us are trying to get better, trying to improve, we share similar struggles. And when you talk to others, it puts everything into perspective, and it's empowering to know that you're not alone. And by the same logic, remove toxic people from your life. We all know someone, maybe many people, who don't necessarily support what you do, who criticize your decisions, make you feel less. You have to do yourself a favor here and block them out of your life. Maybe they're longtime friends and it's a little hard, but it doesn't really matter. You matter. Focus on you, your own happiness. Wow, that's deep. And all right, now tip number 10, the last one. Always be mindful to create positive associations when it comes to art. This one is very important. But what the heck is a positive association anyways? I'll give you an example of a negative association, the opposite, and something that you should avoid like the plague. So imagine you're trying to practice something, maybe how to draw a certain part of the anatomy, or while coloring a drawing, your color choice just totally sucks and you're getting frustrated because it's not coming out right. Slamming the pen on the table and walking away from your office angry, that's a negative association. You've just inadvertently rewired your brain to associate a feeling of frustration with your office and desk or drawing in general. The more you repeat this, the stronger the association gets. Oftentimes, For some people, it'll get so strong, it'll completely kill your passion for art. Just thinking about going to sit down and work on some art will trigger that negative feeling that you've come to associate with art. Now though, imagine the opposite, where you can't wait to get back to your office because you associate it with a positive, rewarding feeling. Haha, that's a positive association right there. You create this by leaving your artwork and going away from your desk for a little while you're feeling good, while you're having fun. Cut the fun and get the heck out. You create a positive association with art by always ending your sessions on a good note. And if you're feeling frustrated, don't walk away yet. Pivot to something else you know for sure you'll be able to draw well. Remember, something well within your comfort zone. Do it for a little while and then walk away from your desk. The last emotion you're feeling when you walk away from your desk is usually the one that your brain will subconsciously assign to the action. Be super mindful of that. And be super mindful to hit the bell button to be notified about next week's class, because this is going to wrap it up for this week's YouTube Art School class. I hope it was helpful. Let me know in the comments. As usual, I read every single one of them. And if you're still watching, you get freebies. Check the video description for a link to one of my 2 main custom brush sets that you can grab for free since you've been a good student today. They might be free, but they're still the brushes that I use all the time. Now, next week's class is going to be pretty epic, so I'll see you then. Peace out! I need to take better care of my health.